at Lunch in Arbor Marketing. Welcome. Welcome. Is there any first-time LA2M folks here? First-timers? All right, first-timers, thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. I think you're in for a real treat today. This is Lunch in Arbor Marketing. My name is Derek Maribon, CEO of Ingenix Digital Marketing. And next to me here is Stacy Collick of Dollar Bill Printing. And we're happy to welcome you here. We do meet every Wednesday. So every Wednesday we're here, except for Christmas, Hanukkah, and certain weeks, 4th of July, yeah. So there's certain times where we have date conflicts, right, with big days. But we're here usually, every Wednesday. And you always learn something. This is all marketing educational talks from really smart people. And LA2M is a 501c3 nonprofit, okay, which means we try and benefit the community, right? So by running these programs, it's free to come. Anybody can come here and listen for free. Obviously, if you want lunch, the menus are on the table, $10 to counter on meals, includes your lunch, drink, and a tip. So that's a good deal. And then the way we fund ourselves is through passing the hat. Don't pass the X. I want to tell you what we do with that money. We pass the hat, so we're old school. That's how we fund ourselves. We suggest a $3 donation. Again, you don't have to donate. But the money actually goes to a few things, okay? One is we have a new LA2M employee. Mary Lou Olds is our new LA2M manager up here. And we've been running, this is our fourth year, right, Dee? Fourth year? Okay, this is our 4th year. We've been fully volunteer. Everyone just does the work themselves. But we realized, wow, this is so much work. So we hired someone, which is great because now we all can get back to our day jobs too, right? It's tough to run a weekly program. So Mary Lou is our employee. And then we also just worked out with the Ann Arbor Public Schools. They have a foundation that helps kids across the whole district who are interested in like marketing and sales and advertising careers. So we're going to start funneling, I think starting in June, right? Scholarship money to them. So we have approximately say $4,000 in the bank as our nonprofit. We're going to start taking a certain amount every year and funneling it to these kids and helping them get education. So, and then we also have some hard costs. So Roger Rayle does video streaming, and we pay hard costs for tapes. Maybe some hard drives. Roger donates his time. Carter is usually here taking photos. He donates his time. But we do have some hard costs, website hosting, etc., etc. So that's why we pass the hat. So I think that's enough of introduction. So Stacy will pass that around. And this week, is our sponsor here? Is Bloom Roofing here? Okay. Oh, there he is. There's our sponsor. We have a sponsor, Bloom Roofing. Greg Boyle's right up here. Thank you for sponsoring. And Bloom Roofing is a commercial roofing company. So I don't know if we have any building owners in the room, right? Maybe. Or maybe you manage multiple buildings. But if you know anyone that needs a roof repair for commercial, Bloom is really the best in the business. They're right in Brighton. Right down the street from Lindsay Exhibits. You probably know Tracy Lindsay, a lot of you. Right down the street is Bloom headquarters. And they do a lot of buildings like this in Ann Arbor or obviously larger buildings, factories, et cetera, et cetera. So Greg sponsored this month. To sponsor LA2M is $200 a month, which we really appreciate because we use it to support our scholarships and our hard costs. So Greg is the sponsor this month. So thanks, Greg, for being that. If anybody wants to sponsor in the future, you can. Your information goes out to 1,700 plus people on the LA2M newsletter, and we really kind of promote your business during that month. So, yeah. And then also for your new people, I'll be brief, I'm talking a lot, but there's a LinkedIn group and a Facebook page. Please follow us there, like us there, join our group. There's a lot of people in our LinkedIn community, and you can connect with and make connections. The format of the meeting is the speaker talks for approximately 30 minutes. We have some time for question and answers, and then at 12:45 we do introductions. So everybody will get to introduce themselves in the room, and we always finish at 1 o'clock, just to give you an idea of our structure. Okay. All right. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce our speaker. His name is Kevin Gillespie. He's a longtime friend of LA2M. Wonderful guy. Wonderful guy. He's extremely talented. In film and advertising and marketing, and he's been doing this for a long time. And he's also a professional coach, like a career coach, goal coach, and he has the What's in Your Toolkit, which is a really inspiring way of looking at life, and I'll let him explain it to you more, but if you could give Kevin Gillespie a warm round of applause, and let's welcome him.
Is this thing on?
Yes.
It's such gracious words, thanks, sir. I'm so glad to be back here. This is sort of my home place. Derek brought me to speak here a couple years ago, and I love doing it. I know my talk is different than what you normally see here, so I'm glad that so many people showed up. I will ask, how many people have seen the What's in Your Toolkit before? Oh, good. So maybe it's the Reuben, or maybe you liked it, so I'm glad you're here. The rest of you, like I said, this is a different thing than what you typically see, and it's really about, my thing is about self-awareness. And anyone here see Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure?
Oh, yeah.
Well, there's a guy in there named Socrates. Anyone remember that guy? And some people call him Socrates, but a bunch of hundreds of years ago, he made this declaration, or we don't know for sure because he didn't write anything down. Plato or one of those guys wrote it down, that an unexamined life is not worth living. I happen to agree. And then I stumbled on this thing from Oscar Wilde, where he said that self-awareness is a disease. Well, I don't want to look at it as a sickness, but I certainly will look at that as a dis-ease. I think that the more we sort of peel back layers about who we are, sometimes the more difficult it can be, but the also more self-aware we are, and the better we can be at whatever we do. So, what I bring here today is a bunch of tools that I have in my toolkit. Everybody has a personal toolkit. And these are tools that I picked up along my life from certain life experiences. I use the tool of storytelling to sort of make these things stay in my brain and make me remember these tools, because otherwise they'd sit in there and I'd forget to use them. So what I'd ask of you guys, what we're going to do is we're going to pick these. If you've been here before, you've seen this. If not, we'll pick a photograph, and I will tell the story of that photograph and the tool that I picked up from it. Some of these are funny, some of them aren't, some of them are kind of creepy, but they're all tools that I picked up and I use pretty consistently. They're very basic, but they're things that have helped me be better at everything that I do. So let people pick stories, and then I'll take their photos, and I'll tell the story about that tool. The one thing I ask, if you walk, all I want is for you to walk out of here going, I never really looked at it that way, but I could probably do that. So if you could walk out of here with one tool that helps you in your daily life, or it's work, or relationships, or whatever, then I've accomplished what I like to do here, other than to have fun and see all my friends. So, anyway, so why doesn't somebody pick a picture?
Butterfly.
Butterfly, ooh. That's one of my favorites. Actually, if you see me do this, every one of these is my favorite. All right, and we're going to be quick because we don't have a lot of time. There's 30 or more stories up here, and I never get to all of them. So every time I do this, it's different. My son Quinn, you'll hear me talk about my kids because they're very important to me. I have 6 children, and they're absolutely, every one of them is one of my best teachers. But Quinn came to me and said, look, there's a caterpillar on our herb garden. Of course, he called it herb garden. And we went, can we keep it for a while? Okay, what does it eat? We looked it up and Google away. And, okay, we'll eat this and parsley. So we put it in a little cage, and we feed it some parsley and some dandelions. It's eating away. We get up the next morning, it's a caterpillar. Or it's a cocoon. It's like, oh, wow, that's beautiful. Well, then cocoon sat there. The next day we're going for vacation. It's like, what do? How do I not impair this butterfly? I can't leave him there. Well, luckily we got up the next morning. I'm talking really fast because I want to get through a bunch of things. Luckily, the next morning, we woke up and the butterfly had come out. And it was absolutely one of the most miraculous experiences for me. I think if you don't believe in God or whatever, just look at butterflies and caterpillars, and you got to figure out something there. But, and I won't go deep, but so we saw this miracle happen, and that made me remember a time in my life where I reinvented myself. I became the butterfly. And what had happened was I had gone to work at a new company. I knew the people, but I had never worked with them. And I decided, totally consciously, that I was going to be acting like I don't know anything. Not be like stupid, but not tell anybody anything. Learn from every smart person there. I also decided at that point, and I preach creativity to people too, that I was going to express my creativity more. I was going to be more confident in telling people what I thought because it was a creative environment. And this was a conscious decision. And you know what? I walked in there, I learned so much, and I did. I could say, wow, I think that would look better if it were green. And people would go, oh, really? And they would try it. And sometimes it would be better green, and sometimes it wouldn't. But what I learned was that I took the opportunity to be the butterfly, to reconstruct who I was, and walk into an environment, and it was absolutely awesome. It helped me more than almost any conscious decision. Anyway, that's the butterfly story. You can be the butterfly, right? Just you have to consciously go, I'm going to do this differently. You can do it.
Classic car, lower road.
Oh, you're the car person. There are two cars down there, and they're both interesting stories. Which one do you like? The 40 Chrysler or the Volkswagen Squareback?
The Chrysler.
Okay. 40 Chrysler, New Yorker, straight 8, suicide doors, the back seat's as big as a living room. I found it in San Cruz, California in the early 70s. I drove out there with my truck and a trailer, bought it, brought it home to Ann Arbor. I dragged that thing around for over 20 years. And I loved it. It was unrestored, but it ran great. My dream was always to fix it up, get all that red velour straight, and it was a straight 8 with a fluid drive. I don't know if anyone remembers that, but it meant you didn't have to use a clutch. You could just, and it was awesome, 110 miles an hour. But my dream was to fix that up. And I had this whole big thing in my head, about, oh, this would be great, I'm going to restore this car. Never did. I got divorced. In the divorce, I retained the automobile, but it got to a point where I couldn't keep it, so I put it up for sale. And these two guys came and picked it up, and I started crying. I mean, literally, I was overcome with grief. I didn't get it. A friend of mine was with me, goes, "It's a car, dude. What's the deal?" I had lots of cars, and I was so sad. And finally, I realized what I was losing, what was going away, was this dream I had. Driving this really cool car with my wife and my 2 little beautiful young daughters, all Easter dresses, through the city, this whole idolized dream I had of what my life could have, should have, would have been. And it was as soon as I realized that I could do it a lot better, but there's so many things in my life that I project what I expect. It could be a Saturday morning that I've got a plan that I've got to do, and if something goes a little bit left, and I can't use that plan, I start getting really anxious. So for me, it's really important to take this tool out and go, look at, it's your preconceived notion of how you want or think this should be that's not fitting exactly right, and it's torturing you. Now, I don't know if that happens to you guys, but that happens to me, like I said, Saturday mornings. If I have a plan, I get all week long, no, Saturday morning I'm going to work on my car. And then all of a sudden my kid, oh, my soccer game. It's like, oh, I get all anxious because I wanted to work my car. It didn't, my world didn't end, nothing was bad. It's just my dream wasn't satisfied. Your car. Yes.
The hairball.
Which one?
The one on the left.
Okay. This is a great one, and this is one of my heroes is Gordon McKenzie. He was the creative director at Hallmark Cards. And he started there when Hallmark Cards was a little tiny company, and he stayed there until it turned into this big global thing. And he was a total creative. I mean, he was one of those guys that did crazy stuff. And actually, he's the one who inspired me to do this because he told stories like crazy. And the first time I saw him speak, it was like, oh my gosh, the guy lives the way that I do. He looks at life as based on tools that he carries and things he learned. But he was also a sculptor. He wrote a great book. It's called Order in the Giant Hairball. I think this is mandatory reading. It's an absolutely fantastic book. It's out of print, but you can find it on half.com and stuff like that. But he wrote this book, and his concept is that a corporate structure tends to be, well, not tends, is a hairball, a giant hairball. And the only way to exist if you do want to express your creativity, and everyone is creative, is to orbit that. As soon as you land and get entwined in the giant hairball, you become part of it and you become hindered. But he used to go to schools and he would take, he was a sculptor, and he'd take his pickup truck with all the big metal and torches, and he would go to these kids and show them his art. And he would always go to the kindergarten class and he'd say, okay kids, I'm an artist, this is what I do. Anyone else in here an artist? And all these 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds are raising their hand, I am. And he goes, great. So he goes on to first grade. Anyone here an artist? And 10 of the kids go, I am. Goes on and on. Finally in 6th grade, he goes, anyone in here an artist? And like 2 kids, they're the guys in the back of the room going, I am. And he goes, well, wait a second. Like, what did you guys do with all the creative people here? What did you do with all the artists in your school? And he knew what it was. And typically, we tend to, first of all, classify creativity as painting or fine arts, let's say. When in fact, creativity is just thinking about things differently, and we all do that. But his point was, and it's well taken, that in our system, in our culture, I think even in any culture, children tend to have that expression sort of either lopped off or filed off or sanded off. So the older they get, the less likely they are to feel comfortable expressing their creativity like I was, and maybe other people are. I mean, everyone in here thinks of things differently than the other person, and expressing those with confidence is really, really important. So this is Gordon's lesson about being a creative genius. Everyone's a creative genius, and I fight that. I sort of made my way by building and managing creative teams and artists. But I firmly believe that everyone is a creative genius, and I would ask you to mine that of your own, because it's there. Anyone? Bueller? Yes, ma'am.
The little boy in the dragon costume.
You know what? This is what happens. He's going to come up, but like 5 minutes before we're done, I'll bring him out, okay? So will you remind me? Do you mind? That would be really helpful. And I don't even know what time it is. It's 20 after. So Derek will remind us. But yeah, he'll come out. He's important to me. Really important. You want to pick another one?
Yeah, the infinity symbol.
Okay. This is tool number 1. Anyone know what this is? It's an infinity symbol, yes, but it's also ancient history is called an Ouroboros, and that means things that are a cycle. Now, I'm from the 60s, and to me this means what goes around comes around. All right, and we can even take it farther back than that. And it comes down to if you treat people the way you'd like to be treated, right? Hopefully you'll be treated the same way. So to me, this is the most fundamental rule that I used in my life, is to always try and treat people the way you'd like to be treated. Very simple. But I happen to love reptiles and snakes in particular, and this symbol of things being continuous is important as well. So that's the Ouroboros. Isn't that a nice piece of jewelry? Okay. Anyone else? Yes, sir.
The hand over fist.
Okay, there are 3 of those too. Which one would you like to look at?
Bottom right.
Oh, there we go. This is great. I have a son named Noah. He's now 17. He's a phenomenal young man. But when he was 3 and 4, all he wanted to do was karate, show people his moves, right? He had a brother that was a year and a half younger. Now he was the victim of it constantly. He'd run by and, this thing. Finally, I go, look, you got all these moves, but let's formalize this. So I found a form of karate that they teach at rec centers. It's family-oriented. It's non-competitive until you get up into the higher level belts. And it was really inexpensive, and it was a family thing, so he and I could both do it. So I thought this would be great. Something we'll do together. He'll learn how to channel this stuff. He won't be up as his brother as much. And so we went to this. He ended up getting bored quickly because he couldn't be Ninja Turtle. He had to learn things. I ended up being completely astonished at what I learned there. And the guy who taught, his name was Master Adams. He was like a 50 millionth degree black belt. He taught me 3 of the most important lessons I have in the whole world. This is one. I came to him after the 2nd time. I go, oh, Master Adams, this is fantastic. I love this so much, but I got to know more about it. I got to get a book. Tell me where I can go to learn more. And he got this grin on his face. And he goes, I love this. I go, what? He goes, I see how you learn. And you cannot learn this that way. You're going to need to relearn how to learn in order to learn this. And I was taken aback because I'm the dude at the meeting. I'm sorry. Someone says, what about blah, blah, blah? And I got it Googled within the next 5 seconds. I'm like, I know it because I got to know. But he taught me that here we'll go back to tools. If the only tool you have is a hammer, you treat everything as a nail, right? So if you try to learn everything the same way, you're going to be slowed down because you can't learn everything the same way. And it's like when I get frustrated about trying to understand something, I go, whoa, wait a second. I'm trying to learn this in the way I would try and learn something else. I have to take a step back and study it. Or to talk to people that can teach it to me as opposed to reading it. Like that was his deal. You can't learn this by reading. You learn this by being shown and taught. And that was a really impactful revelation from him. Anybody else? The fish. This is a really good one too. My wife would tell you this is her favorite. I tend to get really energized and talk quickly, and I learned something else the other day, that a typical syndrome that I have is I think everyone understands my segues. So when I start talking about something, and all of a sudden I go talk about something else, they go, what? I go, I don't understand that they don't get how I made that leap. Some are kind of cool. And I was sitting with my wife and another person, we were chatting, and they were observing, and the guy said, you know what, it's really weird. Is that me? Derek? Talking to you is like, you know, watching your wife is like a fish salmon trying to jump up the river. Like it just doesn't stop. And I stopped, and I started to think about that, and it helps me because it's really important to understand how you land on people. And I know that I get energized and passionate, and anyone that works with me knows I get really excited about stuff. But sometimes I have to learn not to do that because it's not always really effective. And so I think of this thing about, I get this image in my head, absolutely, of like, dude, you're like fish laddering, and I stop, or try to. So that to me is a really important tool. But like I said, my wife loves that because now when we're talking, she can sort of give me the face, and I know I'm fish laddering, so I sort of slow down. But the tool here is understanding how you land on other people. People don't learn the same way that you do. And these segues, like I talked about, that absolutely make complete sense in my head, that leave a room full of people going, what? You know, where's that connection? I'm like going, don't you get it? Well, it's my thing. They don't get it because I didn't express it appropriately. So think about how you land on people. Because you don't want to be a fish, like, you know, jumping. Oh, sorry. Stacy.
Dr. Seuss, is that what that is?
Yep. Okay, this is so great. This is one of my absolute favorites. His birthday was last week, right?
Yeah.
Anyone read this book, Big Hard Moose? Adult reading. This is not a kid's story. This is really serious stuff that anyone in this room could benefit from reading. I'll compress it. This is a cool moose. He's running through the woods, and a fly lands on his antler. Oh man, I'm so tired. Can I hang out with you for a while? Sure. David's running through the woods. All right, spider's hanging down. Hey, that looks fun. Can I? Yeah, come on. The fly says, hey, he's a great guy. Come on. I see the bird. There's this. There's that. And at the end, it gets farther in. Oh, the bear's on there. You know, the fox, the coyote, the whole. He's like, Fenwick can hardly walk. And he gets to the lake, and you know, all his buddies are swimming across the lake to the green grass on the other side. And he's going, I gotta go. And these guys are going, don't jump in, we'll drown, we'll drown, we'll drown. Next thing you know, the hunters are all, here come the guys, right? It's hunting season. So he remembered at that very moment that this was the time of year that these antlers come off. He shook his head really hard, antlers fell off, and he swam across and he ate a bunch of grass. And the thing that's funny about the book is the last page is all these, you know, English Dr. Seuss or English guys with meerschaums and stuff like that, with the antlers and all the animals stuffed on the antlers as the trophy. And this is a lesson, we all know this. To me, though, it's about you have to know how to say no. Because just saying yes to everybody over and over and over and over and over again, someone's going to get unhappy. And all these guys ended up very unhappy. But to me, as a kid, when my mom read me this book, I got that message. You have to know when carrying things for other creatures is a burden that's not helping anyone. And again, I think it's such a common thing that good caring people do. They agree to do things, and they find out they have too many things to do, and then they aren't able to deliver on any of them very effectively. So I'm serious. This is a book that, oh my gosh, I read it a couple times a year because it's just so amazing. Yes?
Mousetrap.
The Mousetrap. Anyone know this game?
Yeah.
Okay, Mousetrap is a really cool game. Someone say no? Someone say no, they don't know Mousetrap? Awesome. That's really great. Because here's the deal. This is a game where you roll the dice and you go around and you build this contraption, this Rube Goldberg thing, that when you finally get to the cheese, at the end, someone can turn the crank, right? And then the whole thing, and the guy kicks the bucket, and the ball rolls down the thing, and all this stuff, and all of a sudden the mouse is trapped. It's an interesting game. It's kind of a bummer because the parts always get lost, and it doesn't really fit on the thing. So I play with my kids, but I lose interest. But here's the thing. We all build a mousetrap, right? We all have situations in our life where we start doing something, then this happens, then we do this, and we get to the same end every time. Whether it's a conversation with a friend, a boss, a spouse, whether it's how you do, your breakfast in the morning. For me anyway, if I don't do if I get in this rut, then the toast gets burned because I have to push it down another time and go put my shoes on. We all have mousetraps that we build, and the sooner you can understand you're in the middle of building one, the faster you can get to not having it catch you. And so sometimes I'll be doing something, I'll go, building a mousetrap here, And there, people that I don't, the language, you talk about, we're on this project, guys, it feels like we're building a mousetrap. Because you do the same things the same way, and the things falls down, and you get trapped. So the mousetrap is a great way to look at something that you do over and over and over again, but doesn't get you a desired result. Anybody else have that happen to them? I'm the only one? That's okay.
Money?
Yes. Sorry.
Upper right-hand corner, is it a peace symbol?
It is, okay. This is a vintage peace button on my 1967 Neil Young fringe jacket. This is tool number 2. And basically this is about peace, or I'll go to say serenity, and it's that simple, little tiny poem that lots of people recite very frequently, which is, give me the strength to accept things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. This is fundamental in many people's lives, and it's something that for me, I have to constantly summon the strength to accept things I can't change. I end up blooding my forehead against stuff before I go, look, this isn't going to change. I got to figure out a different way to do it. So I know you've probably all heard this, but if you can integrate this tool number 1 and tool number 2 in your life, oh, we'll all be way better off. All of them. So this is a favorite of mine. And there's someone else back there. The money, did you say?
Money.
Okay. This is one of the more business-oriented things, and it's really simple. I used to work in a music store right back here, Al Music. Fantastic family. They were big in this town for a long time. They still own the whole one. But at the music store, every Monday, guitar players would come in, and they'd, we'd play strings from the weekend, and you'd always talk about how the weekend went. And, hey, how'd it go? Oh, great, man. I played 3 gigs. Oh, really? Great. You must be rolling in the money. Nah, not really. Well, what'd you get? What'd you make? Well, I got $75. So you paid 3 gigs, so you got paid $25 to play 2-hour wedding. He's like, yeah. I go, dude, why $25? Well, that's what I told him. Well, okay. Next week, tell him it's $100. Right? Because if you tell him 25, you're a $25 guitar player. So a couple weeks go by, Monday morning, comes in, he's buying strings. Hey, how'd it go? Great. 3 gigs. I'm great. What'd you make? I made $300. Well, how'd you do that? Well, I told him $100. I go, right. So now, automatically, you're a $100 guitar player instead of a $25 guitar player. This is an important lesson. Very often, we look at ourselves and we underestimate our value. That doesn't mean you can walk to town and go, hey, I'm a $50,000 guitar player. But it also means that you have to realistically get your insecurities and ego out of it and look at what your value is in any marketplace. And I bet you most people in this room undervalue, not in all situations, but in a lot of situations, it gets to be a very personal situation, we tend to undervalue ourselves. And it may not just be financial, it may be other ways. But that was this guy came back in, and I'm a $100 guitar player. All it took was a decision to say, hey, $100 instead of $25. I don't know what he is now. I don't think it's 50,000. Uh-oh. That's funny. All right. Okay. Let me see if I can move this. Anyone see anything else? Oh, there we go. We have the X. You're doing all right.
5 boys and girls.
Which one is it? Sorry?
Top left.
Oh, okay. All right. This is awesome. There's this guy, his name is Roger Rayle. He writes horoscopes for sort of alternative papers, Metro Times, and that sort of thing. And you can see he's online all over the place. And this was before there was online. And I Metro Times, and I read my horoscope. It wasn't very horoscope-ish. I mean, it wasn't very mystical, but it was really, really interesting to read. And this particular one, this is from probably 20-something years ago. I cut it out and I kept it for a long time. But basically this, he said, Virgos, make a list of 100 things that you're afraid of, scariest of all. Write them out. And then take a big marker, everything from 5 down. Because those those are all the things that distract you from dealing with the five that are important. And I know this is true for myself. I don't know if you guys can figure it out for yourself, but I know that I have tiny things keep me from dealing with things that are really, really important. And as again, it's the same thing. For me, this is, I go, whoa, this is a little thing, it's keeping me from dealing with a big thing. And it's a tool that comes out of my toolkit to help me realize that I've got distracting myself or wasting my time and worrying about something or dealing with something that is keeping me from dealing with the real stuff. Is it a zone? Or am I hit by lightning more than once? It didn't hurt. Okay.
Slingshot.
Okay. All right, my whole tool thing, sometimes we talk about the wrong tool for the job. We all know what those are. I mean, who's used a screwdriver to, pry something, or, use a pliers when really a wrench would be the right way to do it. This story, my brother and my cousin and I were left alone in my aunt and uncle's house. They were all at work. It was summertime, and we were 9 and 11 and 12 or something like that. It didn't have really anything to do, but we all had a slingshot back in those days. And so we each had a slingshot and thought, well, let's go hunting out in Brooks's woods. And someone had the bright idea that, we usually go with stones and stuff. Well, what if we were to make like arrows, like out of coat hangers, right? You take a wire coat hanger, we cut that, and we make that into an arrow. Great idea, let's try it. So we cut a bunch of them up. I said, let's try one. And so my brother and my cousin held up the mattress so we wouldn't injure anything. And so I pulled back this arrow with my slingshot, and I let it go, and I thought, this is going to be really weird. It's going to go right into that mattress. It was a strange thing. And I let it go, and I look, it's like, it did go in the mattress. And all of a sudden, my little brother's screaming, it's in your hand, it's in your hand. I look at my hand, sure enough, there's this piece of wire like sticking out on both sides of my hand. It was the weirdest thing. But right then, I knew that that slingshot and that arrow were not the right tool for that job. And it was literally, I think of that frequently, because then when I'm starting to do something, I go, whoa, this isn't going to go the way I think it's going to go. It doesn't have to be a tool-related thing. It can be anything in my life where I'm trying something, I get this sense, this is not going to go in the mattress, it's going to go in my hand. And I sort of take a step back and think about, how would I use, what is the right tool for this job? It didn't help that I didn't tell my grandma about it for a month, a few weeks, and then she ran into somebody on the street in town. Hey, because I run across the street to get a Band-Aid, or to get help from this other adult, and she gave me a Band-Aid. And so, we didn't tell anybody, and then she ran into my grandma. Oh, how's your grandson's hand? Said, what happened? I can't remember, your blood was good. I got a lot of trouble. But I learned a good lesson. Yes, sir?
The kid in the blue costume?
Yeah, we're going to get to him last. Thank you.
Oh.
But remind me, because I don't know, Derek's going to start doing this, but I'll tell you one more story and then we'll talk about them. Okay? Want to pick another one?
Sure. Another design airball one.
This is so great. Chapter 19 of Orbiting the Giant Hairball, page 179. It says orbital right. You turn the page, and it says, did not have a pilot's license. That's the whole chapter. But I'm telling you, and this is something that all these things are little tiny funny things, right? They may be meaningless out of context, but they can help me remember things. Whenever I think about something that, I can't do that. I go, whoa. Good old homeboy Arbor, right? He built an airplane and flew it, and he didn't even have a license. So you guys have licenses. To go out there and do what you need to do and be who you are. Some are going to be regulated, yeah. But in most cases where we limit ourselves, if we were just to allow ourselves license to do those things, we would accomplish a whole bunch of new, fun, exciting stuff. Ross, you have a favorite story?
I like all the karate ones.
Can we do this? Hello? Does it not want to be done? Okay. Oh, it's not. Maybe. The computer's getting mad now. All right. Sorry. I guess that means this one. Oh, he didn't want to go either. All right, I'll tell you the karate ones. I'll tell both of them real quick. The other two. Master Adams, again, a fantastic teacher. One of the finest things that I learned from him also was, he said the very first day, this course is more about self-respect than it is about self-defense. Because the more self-respect you have, the less self-defense you'll need. Which, to me, again, was one of those, like, so simple, but, whack in the forehead. And it's something that I'm constantly trying to teach my children, but particularly my daughters, because, everyone gets worried about their daughter when they get to be 50 or 60, whatever. That the more self-respect they have, the less they'll need to defend themselves, because they won't allow themselves to get into situations that are dangerous for them. So that's very important. The third one was very interesting. Master Adams would always pick on me because I was sort of one of the bigger guys in class. And Handy come up on time and he said, Chuck, we locked hands. He said, push me down. And he was so strong. I'm like, nothing, I couldn't do it. And then all of a sudden he just let his hand go limp. And the lesson there was, if I don't resist you, there's no way you can push me over. And I think of that. When I start getting energized in a conversation with someone, I'm resisting or I'm getting defensive or arguing. If I can back off on that, everything goes way better. And this person, whoever I'm talking to, doesn't end up pushing me back or making me feel one down or whatever, because I'm not going to resist. And if I don't resist, then they can't push me down. So that was an important karate story too. I learned so much, and I'm pretty much a child of the 60s, like I said, so the whole violent thing is not really in my sort of lifestyle, but it was a really important class, and I loved it for so many reasons. It's fantastic. Now, do you guys want to you going to ask me questions, or do you want to just keep doing stories, or what?
Do stories.
Okay. I mean, I'll answer anything. I'm an open book. Yes, sir.
I was wondering if you have any more stories about learning how to use things correctly and the benefits of using tools correctly.
That's a cool question. Tools about using things correctly. Well, I'll tell you one that I love. It's sort of like that. And then I'm going to tell you one about using things incorrectly. What's going on here? See what's happening? These images are getting lost at the bottom. I don't know why. Okay. What that image was a little guy in a windsurfer. And this was, I don't know.
Try reloading the page.
What's that, bud?
Try reloading the page.
How do we do that without doing?
I think,
What is it?
Option R.
I can hear you. Say it again.
Apple R.
Okay.
Or Option R. Or Command R.
Okay, good. Thank you. Wow. Oh, smart people. Okay. This is my Be Curious story. The other thing I really preach, as well as creativity, is curiosity, because I think, and I learned that from my kids. I mean, if you're not curious about something, you're not excited, you're not learning, you're not really expanding. And I think that curiosity is one of the most underrated exercises ever. A friend of mine, I was really into windsurfing. This was a long time ago. It was a relatively new sport, and I really wanted to learn how to windsurf. And I'm a good water skier, good snow skier, all that stuff, but this just looked so cool. A friend of mine had a windsurfer up on Union Lake, so I went up there one Sunday, and he was going to teach me how to do it. So we get up there, and he sails off in the lake. He's just cutting along, and it's awesome. I'm like, oh, I got to do it. So, okay, you get on the windsurfer, and you pull up the sail, and then you kind of pull it into the wind, and you try to get going. That's what he told me to do. So I keep doing that, but every time I did it, pull up the sail, grab the mast, pull the mast in, it would fill with air and throw me over the front of the windsurfer. And I did that for, 4 hours, because I just don't give up, and I had to learn how to do this. And I kept saying to him, like, what am I doing wrong? I don't know, just keep trying it. When you get it, you'll get it. He's giving his cocktails, and I'm just getting waterlogged, but I had to know. I had to figure it out. He couldn't tell me, put his surfboard, his windsurfer away. I was driving home, I came by, 12 Old Small, and there's borders, and I go into borders, I go, I gotta know. And this is before iPhones. And I went this morning, I went down into the windsurfing, pull it out, and it's like, okay, you uphaul the sail, you hold onto the mast, you step behind the mast, then you pull in the sail. I'm going, step behind the mast? No one told me that. I'm like, here. Every time, I'm like, right in the mast, throw me over. The next week, I went up north, I rented a windsurfer, got on the lake, okay, pull up the thing, grab the mast, step behind it. And the first time I did that, I sailed all over the place for like 8 hours. And, it was like so many times, other times in my life, I got to keep doing something to learn how to do it. Whereas if I just let my curiosity take me, instead of trying to bulldoze it, then I'm going to learn something and accelerate what I'm doing. So to me, that thing about wondering is always in my head. Like, well, how does that work? Okay, I'm going to go look. I'm not going to sit there wasting time surmising. I'm going to find out. So curiosity to me is one of the most important motivators, expanders available. It's good one. So that's a good thing to use. That's a story about a good thing to use.
You got 5 minutes.
Okay.
So I was wondering if you could apply this to a business purpose.
You know what I do? And I could. Actually, I should have thought about it once. Because I do this for creative groups, I do this for marketing, and this is a marketing group, I know. And I do put those toward that. Every one of these stories, absolutely, I have used them in business situations and can talk about how they go, all right? I mean, this one, this curiosity thing for me is easy in a business situation. I will not sit in a meeting and have someone talk about something that I don't understand. And so I will I'll write it down, if whether it's a word or a concept, or, you know, we got into a big conversation about retargeting the other day, and I know about retargeting, but I couldn't really, I wasn't an expert. And so as soon as we were done, I went out and I'm like, you know, Google's my friend, and you know, am I expert now? No, but at least I know if I went to that meeting again, I'd be able to answer that question. So curiosity, that's the easy one. But any of these tools, really, Mousetrap, the Mousetrap. I mean, how many times in business do you sit there and you're in a pitch, Mike can talk about sales pitches, where you do the same thing, and you get to nowhere. So as a salesperson, as you start doing that, you know, take one of the great classes at Sandler, you will understand how to keep yourself from building that perfect mousetrap. And once you're aware of the mousetrap, going back to Socrates, right? Once you're aware of that mousetrap, the way better you are at not building it. So again, these tools, for me, are so well integrated that they come up to me, and they literally come to my mind in a situation. I go, okay, this is where I'm going to use this tool. All right, I'm going to bring out Quinn now, okay? And I always end with him, because to me, this is what I really, really want people to walk away with. So if you've heard this one, I'm sorry, but, well, not really, because it's a fantastic story. This is my son Quinn. He was turning 8 last week. But when he was 3, he still does some of this stuff. He's one of the most creative people I know, actually. And out of my 6 kids, he's the one that I'm trying to make sure I don't lop off that creative stuff. And now he yells at me, Dad, you're limiting my creativity. And I'm like, okay. All right, because he's heard my thing. He was 3. He had to be a superhero. And every day was a different one. He'd fly here, he'd fly there. And one week he's running around, he had a cape on, he tried to jump from the couch to the hearth. And he got one little short, and he, you know, hit his face, and his whole eye puffed up. And like I said, I have 6 kids, so we took him to the pediatrician. They know us really well. And they're going, oh man, what happened? Quinn, all this stuff, you know, nothing really bad, nothing broken. A few days later, he's, you know, looking pretty normal. But about 2 weeks later, he's got some other superhero thing going. He's got a butterfly net on his head, and he's flying all over the house. And again, I don't know what the couch is, he jumps off the couch. Well, the stick is like longer than his legs, right? And he got him like right here. And I have another one of my stories that talks about no blood, no fire, no freak out. Well, there was a lot of fire, a lot of blood, no fire, a lot of blood. And I was freaking out. And so, okay, we also, you know, so we're close to the pediatrician. We also know that if he needs stitches, we go there first. They'll call us into the ER. We can get over there a lot easier. We don't sit in the waiting room for a long time. I've been there. So we go to the doctor, and Quinn, you know, he's one of those kids. I teach all my kids to act like full people, so they talk to anyone, no strangers. So he's there, and the nurses, and the doctor, oh, Quinn, what did you do this time? Oh, what's going on? And he's sitting there, I jumped off this thing, and Dr. Baker, awesome guy, walks in, and goes, Quinn, you got to stop doing this stuff. And Quinn looks up at this guy, he's 3, right? I'm not going to change my lifestyle. And again, I tell this story all the time, and I get chills every single time. Because here was this little tiny person telling this adult he's not going to change his lifestyle. And I'm like going, dude, that is the lesson, right? And then he doesn't know about cars, he doesn't know about, well, he does now. He doesn't, you know, cars or clothes or anything. It's about how he looks at the world. And he's just not going to change how he looks at the world because he had this cut on his chin. And again, please, if there's anything you guys do walking out of here, take with you some kind of tool and go, I think I can do that. That will make it easier for me to do what I do. But most of all, think about what you really want your lifestyle to be. And I don't mean cars, which is part of it maybe, but how you look at life, your curiosity, your creativity, all that stuff, and go forth and do that. Pay attention to who you are, learn more about yourself, build yourself a really good set of tools, and you'll be better at everything you do. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Kevin. So the batteries just ran out on the big mic here. Batteries.
Want the little mic?
Yeah, we might have to use that little mic now. Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you, guys.
All right, great talk. So we'll pass this thing. This will work. It's reasonably doable. So anyways, this is where you get to introduce yourselves and give us your name, your company, and real briefly, if you are looking for something, you can let us know and ask. And please stand up when you do this so we can all hear you. We're going to pass the little unit with the handheld thing.
Hi, I'm Ruth Stamrine with the Michigan Retirement Research Center. I know Derek through his wife's work, and I come here once in a while to get inspired and get insight into how to be creative and going in the right direction. And I brought my friend Carol today.
I'm Carol Bowen. I also work at the University of Michigan in the Institute of Social Research, Health and Retirement Study. I do a lot of grant work, budgeting, so it's nice to get out of that world and come and hear some more creative things.
I can't demonstrate this and hold that too. I just want to show you one of the neatest things that I've gotten. Mother's Day is coming, and Doc gave me this. This is it's got a mirror light for your women, and it's a lip gloss. Enjoy the day.
Hi, I'm Steve Cornell, and I'm an IT professional looking for a new job or a new opportunity in large corporate data centers. I'm a software developer and a Unix system administrator.
Hi, Mike Wynn with Sandwich Training, and I guess I help people avoid their mousetrap. I like that.
Sorry for all the noise. I'm Julie Panea. I do voiceovers. If you need a voice for your answering machine or your corporate video or anything like that, come talk to me. I also work for a couple of area nonprofits.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Dusek. I'm a graphic designer and web developer. I'm hosting a 2-day intensive workshop where we will walk you through installing a WordPress site, and you'll learn how to manage your content and then market to your target audience if you're interested.
Hi, I'm Ross Johnson. I'm also a web designer and graphic designer, and I will also be speaking at Lindsay's Create Your WordPress workshop on April 5th. So I recommend anybody who needs a small business website, come check it out.
My name is Greg Boyle. I work with Bloom Roofing Systems, and we specialize in commercial roof replacement and repair services.
Good afternoon. Dr. Thomas Blackwell, principal owner of Impel, a training and development company.
Tom Crawford, and today just want to mention next week, a week from Saturday, March 17th, up in Waterford, we're hosting a visual thinking and literacy conference. So if you want to learn how to think differently, how to communicate more effectively using visuals, we bring in talent from all over the country to come speak. It's only $100. Check out vizliteracy.com. That's VIZliteracy.com.
Hi, I'm Stacy from Dollar Bill, your local digital print shop. We love nonprofits. And Kevin, what a great talk on a beautiful day.
Hi, I'm Joey Hampton. I work for Torrance Learning, and we do training for companies that have lots and lots of learners online.
Hello, my name is Ann Darnell. I'm an instructional designer with Torrance Learning, and Joey covered what we do.
Hi, I'm Judy DeFort. I'm in the marketing department for the Betty Brigade. We help people untangle their hairballs. So if you have one, We've been professional organizing. We've helped people kind of get squared away in their lives, their homes, relocation, and event planning.
Hi, my name is Dan Letwin, recent graduate from Michigan State University and digital marketing intern at Nginx Digital Marketing.
Hi, I'm Brandon Rosentrader. I'm a sophomore in product engineering at the University of Michigan. I'm also currently an intern at Nginx right now.
Pat Bartel, I'm a financial advisor for Center Street Wealth Strategies out of Northville. I deal primarily with qualified retirement plans for small business owners, and I'm also actively involved in fundraising for nonprofits.
Hi, I'm Jerry Willis. I'm the founder of Myself Work, and it's a startup here in Ann Arbor that connects students to professionals.
Hello, I'm Ian Shirk. I do AdWords management at a small search marketing company based in Plymouth called Appropriately Search Ad Marketing. I also play a very small role at Eastern Michigan's search marketing program, and if you're interested, if you weren't able to make it, the videos are all posted at thesearchmarketingworkshop.com, so you're free. So that's nice. And then for a speaker, I noticed that your guitar service example, like the $25 to $100, framing it, and this is showing your worth. I noticed that related back to an example that Ross made last week with framing and anchoring of. So I don't know if this is relevant to people here, but I thought that was interesting, and it's very good.
Ross is a really smart guy.
Yep.
I'm Bill Denny. I'm a technical writer with a background in technical training, software development, and telecommunications, and I'm actively seeking small and/or large projects in the Ann Arbor area.
My name is Greg Bethel, and I work with Spring Arbor University. And if you or someone you love is looking to complete a bachelor's degree or move on to a master's degree, we offer many programs online as well as face-to-face. And I'll be here after the meetings over the network, back and back, if anybody would like to speak with me.
Hello, my name is Chris Poza. I'm a recent graduate from MSU as well. Go Green. Might be a dangerous thing to say here though. Right now I'm an English major and I just graduated with that, and I'm kind of looking at a bunch of possibilities. So if you're seeking somebody, come talk to me.
Hi, my name is Brad Pritz, and I'm an online marketing intern at Stone Interactive Group over on Liberty. They're a search engine optimization firm. And my internship is actually coming to an end on Friday, so I'm also looking for new opportunities in the digital marketing field. So if you guys have anything available, let me know.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Fran DePlanche with a technology firm called Xenacom. We're an IT firm that specializes in managed network services as well as custom software development and management and development of third-party software applications. Fran DePlanche with Xenacom.
Hi, I'm Patrick Bell with Ypsilanti Networks. I do small business web hosting, email systems, and IT support.
All right, Dan Newby, and I'm an advisor to CEOs and CFOs, helping them find save time, money, and find opportunities to grow their business. And I'm looking for introductions to CEOs and CFOs of for-profit and non-profit companies.
Hi, I'm Dennis Kaminski. I'm sales and marketing. I usually help Roger with the videotaping here.
And I'm Roger Rayle. I help people make their ideas work, and I do a lot of videotaping and dissemination of information for different groups around town. And when you had the mousetrap example, I thought back to the life-size mousetrap game at the Maker Faire in Detroit, and it'll probably be there again this July, end of July, beginning of August. Actually, I have a video of that up if somebody wants to see how it works. But it's like a quarter acre. It's a full-size mousetrap.
Hello, my name is Carl Schwartz. I just got my MBA from Michigan State University, and I've been looking for full-time work, but in the meantime, I've been helping out small businesses with helping develop and analyze their marketing plans.
Hi, I'm
Claire Hughes, and I'm a marketing, communications, and fundraising consultant. I work with nonprofits, small businesses, and I love the idea of not going back on our lifestyles, sticking with who we are.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Ziegler. I'm a trademark lawyer with HG Michigan. I work with people in marketing, so I was just looking for sort of basic understanding of marketing.
Hi, I'm Lori Burke. I work with Jennifer at HG Michigan for the same reason.
I'm Bud Gibson. I created the search marketing program at Eastern Michigan University. Great to have Ian in the audience. Glad to hear he was here at Flying Flag last week. He's a proud graduate. We will be running another search marketing workshop again in the fall. It's going to be an annual event. And so look forward to seeing many of you there.
Hi, I'm Mary Lowell. I'm the new manager for Washington Arbor Marketing. If you have an interest in speaking to the group, have a topic already in mind, or would like to float some ideas on topics, be happy to talk to you about that. The other possibility is to go on the LA2M website, so LA2M.org, go to the Get Involved tab, and there's a place on there where you can fill out a speaker form. So we'd be happy to have you do that. I'm also a freelance writer, so if you have a writing project that you'd like to finally get off your desk, just let me know. Thanks, bye.
Hi, I'm Jasmine Moeller. I'm the brand new project manager at Ingenix Digital Marketing. I am also an event soloist, vocalist, if you will. If you're looking for any of that, I can sing.
Hello, I'm Lindsay Blackwell. I'm the social media director at Ingenix Digital Marketing, and I cannot sing.
Hi, I'm Carter Sherman from Frogman Studios, and I'm a commercial editorial portrait photographer, sometimes videographer.
The question is, can you sing? No, okay. Maybe in the shower. All right, so my name is Derek Maribon, CEO of Ingenix Digital Marketing, and well, we got a really unique, cool crowd here today, which is really makes it more fun. And let's see, what did I want to say? I guess I'm just glad everyone came. You know, I'm grateful to have, you know, we got the 2-star interns in the back, and then the new project manager with Jasmine, who I guess I didn't know so much that you sang. That's really exciting. And then Lindsay, which is exciting, our social media director. So we really help companies understand and own the digital space, so to speak. And I'm glad you two that want to learn about marketing. I think if you come here, you will become marketers. It's like this osmosis thing. So just keep showing up, and there's a transformation. Start wearing very bright colors.
Butterfly thing.
Yeah, it's a butterfly. It's, yeah. But anyways, glad you're here because we need all types, especially lawyers and people like that.
We never get that.
Anyways, you know, let's give Kevin a big round of applause. That was really wonderful. Talk. Always a pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much. And boy, thanks to Mary Lou. She's been booking speakers, and we are almost all booked through the end of June, which is super exciting. So thank you for that. That's very, very exciting. And now I'm going to hand over to Dee Davey to kind of finish us.
Thank you, Derek. I'm Dee Davey, Creative Ideas Marketing. I help companies who provide business-to-business services to their customers. I help them grow their business, and I've been doing that for over 25 years. I'm also a Knight of the Marketing Roundtable. That's the Spark organization that meets next Tuesday, March 13th, and I will be leading a panel discussion on customer experience. We have a fantastic panel of experts lined up, and the panel is going to show you how to grow your sales and build your business using customer service as the cornerstone for improving sales and improving your bottom line. So join me, Dee Davey, at the Marketing Roundtable, March 13th, 5 to 7 p.m. It is also my pleasure to be the voice of Lunch Ann Arbor Marketing and announce next week's speaker. We are honored to have Marissa Smith from the Whole Brain Group joining us. Marissa is going to talk about identifying and profiling your client so that you really understand who your customer is and who you can help through your business so that you create a win situation for both parties. So we have a winning presentation with Marissa next week, so join us then. Thank you.